She grew up calling him her brother, and ended up marrying him. Everyone said it was just tradition. Just family keeping things close. But no one asked what she wanted. No one saw the fear in her eyes on the wedding day. And on their wedding night, when he found out she wasn't a virgin, he didn't just feel betrayed, he felt entitled to punish her. By sunrise, the bride was dead, and the groom, her own stepbrother, was the killer. Meera was just 22, gentle, traditional, and raised in a conservative home in Uttar Pradesh. After her father passed away, her mother remarried, and that's when she met Dev, her stepbrother. Dev was older by 5 years, reserved, and cold, but to everyone outside the house, he was the ideal son. Inside, Meera always felt like she was being watched. Not protected, watched. As they grew older, relatives whispered about how close they were. When Meera turned 21, the pressure began. Her mother insisted that Dev, now a successful contractor in the city, was the best choice. "He's not your real brother," they said. "Who else will keep you safe?" Meera resisted. She felt disgusted by the idea. But in a household where daughters had no say, her voice didn't matter. A year later, the wedding took place. It was a typical small-town affair: bright saris, bursting loudspeakers, relatives gossiping, and garlands of marigold everywhere. Meera looked like every other Indian bride, eyes lined with kohl, lips trembling behind a shy smile. But inside, she was numb. Friends said she barely spoke in the days leading up to the wedding. Her silence was mistaken for tradition. In reality, it was fear. On their wedding night, everything unraveled. The ceremony was barely over when they arrived at Dev's house, a single-floor family home dressed up in lights. Inside their bedroom, draped with red bed sheets and jasmine flowers, Dev turned from groom to interrogator. He wasn't interested in celebrating. He wanted answers. "Tell me the truth," he demanded. "Have you been with someone before me?" Meera, startled and cornered, tried to avoid the question. But Dev kept pushing. He pulled at her jewelry, raised his voice, threw her phone against the wall. She begged him to stop. But when he found a message in her deleted chats, an old one from a college friend, his rage exploded. Dev accused her of being impure, of shaming his manhood, of making him a joke. The idea that she had lived a life before him, had loved someone, even kissed someone, shattered his fragile ego. And in a society where a woman's virginity is still viewed as proof of honor, Dev believed he was justified. He slapped her once. Then again. Then harder. Meera screamed. She tried to run. Neighbors would later say they heard banging, crashing, and a final, terrible silence. By morning, she was found lifeless, bruises around her neck, her bridal bangles shattered on the floor. The room was a mess of torn fabric, broken glass, and bloodstains. Dev called the police himself, but claimed it was a suicide. She was depressed, he said. She couldn't handle the pressure. But the autopsy said otherwise. She had fought for her life. There were fingernail scratches on Dev's arms, signs of a brutal struggle, and evidence of forced intercourse. Meera hadn't taken her own life. She was murdered, strangled by the very man she had been forced to marry. The town was shocked, but not silent. Candle marches began. News outlets picked up the story. Women's rights groups demanded justice. The court case moved quickly. Dev showed no remorse. "She lied to me," he said in court. "She made me believe she was something she wasn't." But the jury didn't believe him. Dev was sentenced to life in prison. But no sentence could bring back Meera, or erase the questions her story raised. Why are women still judged by their past? Why are step-sibling marriages allowed without consent? Why do families ignore red flags in the name of tradition? Meera's death wasn't just a murder, it was the result of silence, pressure, and a society that still sees women as property. She deserved a life of freedom, not a forced marriage to a man who was supposed to be her protector. If you believe stories like Meera's deserve to be heard, subscribe to our channel. Comment your thoughts, and let her story be a spark for real change. Don't forget to hit the bell icon, because silence kills, but awareness saves lives.